The minister in the morning spoke about how to have a constructive approach while we are going to use government 2.0 platform. Mr. Oja just a little while ago said there have been technologies, but all technologies have not been put to use. Some technologies fall apart here and there. Now, here is this technology, Web 2.0, which has come and caught the imagination of people at large. It was there, but lately Wikipedia perhaps was where it got to be better known. Wikipedia, WikiLeaks, and then Facebook, and now Twitter, and a whole lot of them. Now here is something which is going to be there and which is going to change the meaning of governance. Governance would require to be redefined, restructured. Inevitably, there is no way governments of the day can avoid being affected by Gov 2.0. So either, and you know that the leaders of revolution become the victims of revolution. And if the governments don't invent themselves all over again in the context of Gov 2.0, perhaps they could find it too difficult to handle the new technology in the hands of people. As a matter of fact, Gov 2.0 would restructure governments to make it Society 2.0. As a matter of fact, Society 2.0 and Gov 2.0 would meet on this platform together. And for which what Mr. Duggal talked about, the laws. Laws is one thing, but the whole business of collaboration, unless it's restructured, unless it is organized, because let us understand the society, because it organized human beings on a platform which was a structure. And here is this technology which is enabling a huge cross-section of people, again, meeting on a platform totally in an unorganized way, unless structured. And who's there to structure them? Will the governments be strong enough to structure people all assembling at a huge platform like this? This technology became powerful more so in the Western world, in the countries where the internet penetration was huge. As a matter of fact, I have with me the task force report of Australia, where the task force for Gov 2.0, and it goes on and on, suggesting how the government should collaborate with people, engagement is the word, and how to engage people in a constructive way. Now this is the inevitability of the situation, which requires government to define information, government to perhaps evolve license for information, government to decide along with people what kind of information, in what way is required to be shared. But more than information, it's the mobilization of opinions, which is going to take place in this on this platform. Today in India, the internet platform is very, very small. It's just about 3%, 3 to 4%. And that is what gives India the time to put its act together in terms of governments. State and central governments' position or locus standi would change. Today, states are looking towards the center for laying down the overall paradigm for governance. This Gov 2.0 would enable a platform where people who are as of now being delivered the services through the state governments, and it's the policies which are being done more at the central level. The platform at state level would become far more relevant and important, with Gov 2.0 becoming the part of the day, part of the life. What is going to happen is that so the issues of governance would become people's movements. The opinions would become the laws, and people's movements would determine, perhaps along with the aspirations of the people, the required outcomes which would have to be delivered. So governance would become reduced, governments would become flattened, hierarchies are going to get reduced, and the entire structure of governance would require to be redefined. And it is not a day too soon that we look at the inevitability of this situation, put our act together, enable laws and usages and conventions all defined to with the foresight of what is going to happen when a broad cross-section of a population like India, and India would be one of the most powerful countries in that situation, when you have 1 billion people enabled through internet, whenever it becomes ubiquitous, joining on this platform and converting government into a movement of 1 billion people.